Hey, good afternoon. Happy Thursday. It's Daryl here. It is 4 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast, and some serious stuff to talk about. I've been reading and researching and watching everything I can on what William Barr, the Attorney General, has been talking about for the last couple of days. And it is some truly, I am truly horrified of a situation that looks like it's inevitable. Let me just talk about what Attorney General Barr has been saying the last couple of days, and Trump. They've been pretty much talking nonstop, putting out this false information. They've been flagged. Trump's been flagged on Twitter. On CNN, William Barr was made a completely false statement, proven false statement that he said that a Texas man was caught trying to put in 1,700 fake ballots. False claim. We have an attorney general that is basically threatening to lock up anyone that goes against the government, basically. But I'm getting ahead of myself. All right. So, like I said, William Barr got flagged on CNN for putting out this false claim about a Texas man and 1,700 fake ballots, which is completely false. So both Trump and his attorney general are going around putting out this. You know what this reminds me of? The 1940s, Adolf, and I think his legal counsel was Hans Rose. I think was Adolf's legal counsel, and Heinrich Himmler wasn't his legal counsel, but his second in command. I swear to God, Trump and Barr remind me of this right now. I'm not even exaggerating. All right, so listening to Barr the last couple of days is truly the most scary thing. He's talking about the Sedition Act. I have a hard time with that word. It's basically being able to flag anybody that they deem a traitor to the United States. It's anybody that's working to betray or hurt the United States. And the definition is kind of shady. Basically, he's talking about making it legal to do away with free speech, to do away. There's more, though. This is all looking at Election Day. Because both him and Trump are talking about how there's going to be fake ballots. They're setting this all up so that there's going to be, and by all reports and by all counts, it's going to be a very close election. So what all the pundits, what everybody is looking at, what everybody's forecasting is there's going to be confusion on election night. They're anticipating that Trump's going to declare a victory, which will inflame situations. They're seriously, all these pundits and everybody that analyzes political situations in the last year and everything believes that Trump election night will declare a victory before any votes are counted. They're already talking about in Pennsylvania that it could take weeks to count the mail-in votes, because in Pennsylvania they're not allowed to start counting votes until election night. They have to open up the ballots. They have to smooth them out, put them in their machine, smooth them, count them. It's a long process, and at best it could take a week. Now, they're thinking that Trump will declare a victory election night, which will, like I said, will inflame the situation. And of course, there's already protests. So they're anticipating that there would be widespread protests, street protests. And this is where Barr and Trump are already setting this up with this Sedition Act, that they can go out and just arrest people and put down any type of protest that pops up. Basically, they're in the process of already stealing the election. No exaggeration. They're setting this up so that there's going to be a serious doubt. You ask any Trump supporter or most Republicans right now, and they're going to say that mail-in voting is going to be a fraud. They've already painted that, so a good third of the country already believes that mail-in voting is going to be fraudulent. So election night, they're thinking that Trump will declare victory and there'll be a backlash from non-Trump supporters. And the Attorney General of the United States, the man that's in charge of law and order, is already setting it up so that any attempt to use freedom of speech, to speak out against this, to let the process continue, because by all accounts, it's going to take days or weeks for a winner to be calculated. But it's looking like they're setting this up so that Trump is not going to wait even one day. Like I said, and Barr is already trying to set it up so it'll be legally possible for him to send out the National Guard or the Army to strike down any type of protest, to put down hard any type of protest. This comes on the heels of a report from a whistleblower that the White House was stockpiling munitions back in June when the protesters started gathering around the White House, and they were looking for a heat ray. I forgot what the initials are. It's a device that's similar to a microwave. It sends out microwaves and it heats up the skin, makes it feel like there's intense heat on the skin. And this isn't even being used by the Army because the consideration is that it's inhumane. The Army decided not to use this in their arsenal against terrorists or wherever in Iraq and Afghanistan because it's too inhumane. It's considered a non-lethal. But the Army won't even use this. And the Trump White House was asking around to the National Guard and the Army if they had any of these available to use on protesters. This is no BS. Like I said, I've been looking into this for days, and it is truly horrifying. Barr talked about some other stuff too, talking about, because of course, like Roger Stone, Trump's best friends just after Roger Stone admitted lying, other Trump associates were let out by Barr, let out of jail, and Barr was on TV saying that how dare his underlings question him. He was basically saying that don't these people realize who they serve under, who they serve at my leisure. He's basically saying that he makes the laws, and nobody, because the lower attorneys were angry because Barr jumped in and overturned their rulings and their cases. And Barr compared them to children, saying that, don't they realize who I am? They serve under me. I make the rules. I make the laws. They all work under me. Basically saying he's saying he could do whatever he wants. He could let anybody, he could jump into any case in America and overturn it. He considers himself law and order. And him and Trump are like this. It is truly horrifying what's going on. Now, the mayor of Portland, Barr, is suggesting that she should be put in jail for allowing peaceful protests in Portland to go on for so long under this Sedition Act. Basically outlawing free speech. That's where we are in America right now. This is no joke. Back in 2016, I think you guys, a lot of us considered the worst case scenario, what might happen. And what we're looking at now, honestly, is even beyond the worst case scenario. And like I said, because by all accounts, this election is going to be close. It's hard to see how what I just described, how it wouldn't play out. It almost looks like it's inevitable. It is going to be, without a doubt, it's going to be close. It's going to take days or weeks, without a doubt, at least days, if not weeks, to determine a winner, by all accounts. And the way Trump and Barr have been talking, they've demonstrated no intent on waiting days or weeks. And if you look at Trump's, there's a quote from I was reading another quote from a Trump supporter, one of the organizers of these boat rallies, that he's ready to go to Washington if he thinks Trump's going to lose with his militia. And there's other Trump supporters that are saying this too. Now this is lower down on the whole scale of serious things, but it's a scary situation. We joke about how bad 2020 has been already. And to be honest with you guys, after doing all this reading and research about Barr and Trump and the way that this is shaping up for this election, it looks like it could get a hell of a lot worse by the end of the year. And not to mention, Trump seems to be pushing this vaccine situation, raising more questions. If a vaccine were to come out in October or November, who would trust it seriously after all this back and forth between him and the CDC? Him calling the head of the CDC confused. Truly, if you read into here on different news agencies like The Guardian or any of those here on or Flipboard is another one I go through here on the internet. It's an app. There's some truly, and this isn't just liberal news. This is new worldwide news, and the rest of the world sees this happening too. So it's a scary situation. Like I said, it truly reminds me of. I think his name was Hans Rose. It was Adolf's legal counsel back in the 40s. And then Heinrich Himmler was Adolf's second in command. And I swear to you, that's what Barr and Trump remind me of. Barr, it's become a sick, ironic joke that this guy is the head of the Justice Department, the head attorney in this country, and Trump is convincing voters in North Carolina to commit fraud, to commit a felony by voting twice. That's just going to throw more confusion in too. It's going to look like Trump support, and Trump supporters they've already started doing this. There's already cases where Trump supporters have been caught, where voting's already started, where they've tried to vote twice. This is going to throw more gas on the fire. It's all shaping up like some kind of evil plan, truly. Now, like I said, when these Trump supporters are caught voting two times, the Trump vote's going to get thrown out. And you can see where Trump's going to go with this. The Trump votes are being thrown out, and there's fake votes for Biden coming in. Oh, that's it. The election's got to be stopped. He declares himself a winner, and all hell breaks loose in America. And then Barr pushes this Sedition Act through, and we have the military on American streets locking up people for freedom of speech. That's what we're looking at. No exaggeration. So I would suggest that whether you're green, the Green Party, if you're an ex-Republican, a Democrat, if you were Bernie or bust, we all better get together and make a strong vote for Biden. So there's no doubt. That's the only way I can see out of this. We have to all come together and put an end to this. This is no joke or exaggeration anymore. All right. You guys have a good Thursday. Sorry about the long video. I didn't expect to ramble on for so long. All right. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.